If you own a home in Leimert Park South, meaning south of Martin Luther King Boulevard, are your property values lower than those of your neighbors north of Martin Luther King? Well, we're going to get into that question in today's Nosy Neighbor Report. My name is Nick Cates. I'm a Los Angeles realtor. I specialize in the private market, meaning I get owners of homes and rental properties full price offers on their homes and rental properties without putting their property on the market. So let's get into the Nosy Neighbor Report. And for those of you who don't know, Nosy Neighbor Reports are all about finding out what's happening in micro neighborhoods within the Los Angeles area, the kinds of information that homeowners really want and need to know. Today, we're looking at Leimert Park South. And if you don't know Leimert Park South, it is designated by the streets Martin Luther King on the north, and then Crenshaw on the east. You see it in this green area here, and then roughly 2nd or 3rd Avenue on the east, and then Vernon Boulevard to the south, of Vernon Avenue to the south. So Leimert Park South is really kind of interesting versus Leimert Park North because they're typically smaller lot sizes, typically up to about 4,000 square feet, whereas Leimert Park North is typically over 4,000 square feet for the lot sizes. But does that translate to actually having lower prices? Let's look at what's happening in Leimert Park South this quarter. Okay, so looking at Leimert Park South this quarter, we see that there are 2 active listings between January and the date of this broadcast in March. There were 2 active listings, and the actual average list price in Leimert Park was $962,000. But let's look further and see what's going on with the sale property. This report, which you can get for free, actually by going to the description in this recording, you can get a copy of the report for free. But we show the residential canceled properties, the expired properties. These are properties that didn't sell and were taken off the market. But the most important number is what was actually sold. That gives property owners and those looking to buy in the area a good baseline to determine what's happening in the neighborhood. So if we look at the actual average list price that went under contract, you're looking at about $1,090,000 in Leimert Park South in the first quarter. But the actual sale price was about $1.071 million, which is about 98%, a little bit over 98% of what the actual asking price was. So they're not selling on average at the listing price. They're selling a little bit below. Let's look at Leimert Park North by comparison. And we see there that the average list price that went under contract was $1,075,000, and the actual sale price on average for the 9 listings that sold in the first quarter was $1.059, which is actually lower, surprisingly, on average than what the prices were in the south part of Leimert Park. Again, you see that you have lot sizes of 6,000 square feet, 5,900 square feet, 4,400 square feet, in terms of lot size. And the average property size in North Leimert Park is about 1,861. If we come here to the South Leimert Park, you see that the lot size is 4,500 is the largest that actually sold, and all of them are over 4,000 square feet. But in this case, we see that there were properties that had 2,300 square feet, 2,000 square feet. So on average, the square footage in South Leimert Park over this period was actually a bit higher than in its northern neighbor. And it shows up actually in the actual average sales price. So that gives you something to chew on. And again, you can get this report for free. In addition, you can get a copy of the actual interactive report, and I'll show you what that looks like. That actually allows you to go property by property and actually see the photos of the property, each one that is listed here. So you've got 2 active listings in green. You are able to see the description. You're able to get more detail. You're able to get information about the interior features, all those kinds of things for each property. So if we go to this next property on Edge Hill, you see that that's active right now. You see there was one with the pink icon. You see there was one that was canceled. And then you can see actually each of the sold properties. So you can go property by property and actually get more detail in this report that you can actually get for free. So so that gives you a good snapshot of what's going on in Leimert Park South. Actually, the prices in Leimert Park South, again, just like in North Leimert, were actually a little bit lower this quarter of 2026 versus 2025. And the report, if you're actually a homeowner or a rental property owner and you'd like to get a more specific or customized report about your property and how it fits in, definitely let me know. There's a link in the bio that allows you to access that information, a link in the description. Would love to get that for you. Again, I specialize in getting owners top dollar for their property in the private market. So if you want to know more about that, either contact me directly or contact me through the links in the information. And I'd love to get you the information that will make you the best nosy neighbor in the neighborhood. Or if you're looking to buy, definitely contact me. I'd love to help you with that journey. So that's the Nosy Neighbor report for this time, South Leimert Park. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them for me, and we'll see you on the next one.